Now, ladies and gentlemen, we go into question 9. Good day, everybody. And once again, we're back together. All right, so let's get into the question. If you haven't subscribed, please just make sure you're part of the family. All right, let's dive into it. They say the arc length of a sector is 2.1 meters and it subtends an angle of 1.8 radians. Okay, they say calculate the radius of the circle in centimeters. Now, please remember, ladies and gents, it's always important for you to get a visual image, okay, of what we are talking about. So here we are given the arc length of a circle, right? And they're telling us that the sector, or rather the arc length is 2.1, okay, and the central angle. Right, so there it is once again. We've got a central angle over there. Okay, and we are talking about the arc length. So we're saying the arc length, which is this part here, is 2.1 meters, okay? And they also tell us that the angle theta is 1.8. And remember, we always want this angle to be in radians. Okay, right, so let's calculate quickly. So we're going to say, well, we know that the arc length is always going to be the radius multiplied by the central angle. We know this guy is 2.1, okay, 2.1 meters. But we just also need to be very, very careful in this case that if we were given R, we needed to make sure that R is also in meters. Okay, so all we're going to do is divide both sides by 1.8 to get the value of R. Okay, let's do that quickly. So that's 2.1 divided by 1.8. And I get a value, R is 1.17 meters. Okay, so please note I'm calculating that in meters because my arc length was given in meters as well. Okay, however, my question said the radius of the circle in centimeters. Okay, so I want to now convert from meters to centimeters. Now I want you to note, ladies and gents, that 1 centimeter, okay, is 100th. So centi means divide by 100. So that would be 100th of a meter. So let me put it this way, 100 centimeters is 1 meter. Okay, so in this case, I've got 1.17 meters. How many centimeters is that going to be? So all you simply do is you're going to multiply that number by 100, okay? If 1 gives me 100, then 1.17 multiplied by 100. So that radius would be 117 centimeters. Okay, right, so that is how the cookie crumbles, ladies and gents, right? And that's where we're going to leave the question. Okay, so let's go to the next question. They say to us the area, calculate the area of the sector. Okay, so what are we looking for? We're looking for the area over here. Okay, so how do we get that area? So we always say for 9.1.2, so the area of the sector is always going to be given by half of the radius squared multiplied by the central angle. Okay, if I had the time, I would derive this for you and show you, but I'll do that in another video, right? So this is going to be half multiplied by. Now we need to, again, be very careful that when I give you that area, I must actually make sure that it's in meters squared, right? So I'm going to take my distance, or rather my dimensions in meters. So I'm going to go back to 1.17 squared multiplied by our central angle is 1.8. Okay, so let's go for it. That's going to be 1 over 2 multiplied by 1.17 squared, and that's multiplied by 1.8. Okay, and I get a value of 1.23 is our meter squared, is our final answer. And that's where we are leaving it. We'll see you again on the next video when we look at the next question, 9.2. For now, I'll see you guys again next time. Sharp, sharp.